Seen that shit.
Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing my Greenworks 40V 24-inch tree hedge trimmer. I've had this for a few years, so I'll go over the pros and cons and any secret tips that I've learned during that time. Unfortunately, I don't have a battery in it because my tripod broke, and so I can't really show how to use it because it does require two hands. One thing I will start out with this is saying that the battery is really nice. I know people who have gas trimmers and they're loud and they smell and you always have to replace things and perform maintenance. But if you have any other Greenworks products like this, you can use the same battery. So if you have a lot of hedges that you need to trim and you run out of one battery, you can always pop in another one. So some people do have concerns about battery electric tools not having the same power as their gas counterparts. That may be true, and it was definitely true many years ago, but it's not really significant anymore. So for example, I have an electric snowblower and the neighbor across my street has a gas one. We can shoot snow up at the same height, so it does not matter. I've noticed that I don't have any issues trimming hedges, I don't have any issues trimming bushes, and I don't have any issues trimming small branches from trees with this. So as long as you're not trying to cut a tree, you should be fine. This should have everything that you need, all the power that you need. One thing I like about this model specifically is the guard here. Almost every tree trimmer I've ever seen has a safety guard here, but they're always solid, and so you can't see through it. Here you can actually see through, so this makes the usable area of the blade the full blade because you can see the whole thing as opposed to everything but this. And that's significant. That's about 4 or 5 inches that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see. Okay, so that's a really nice feature. Keep your hands safe. This doesn't have a trigger here, so you can't press here like you can on other ones, but that's fine because I'm right-handed, so this works for me. I'm going to hold this with my right hand, my dominant hand, and I trust my dexterity of my dominant hand anyways. So I've never liked those. I always get afraid that I'm going to hit that. Here is your safety. So if I have this on, I cannot press the trigger. If I pull it back, that's when I can engage the trigger. So if the battery was in, this would then be doing its tree trimming thing. So that's when you want to be careful, is when this is pulled back. So it's really great that there's a safety involved. The last thing is this you press it down and then you can rotate it, right? So if you're trimming something up and down a lot, you can change the direction. If you're going side to side, this is where you want, but if you're going the other hand, or maybe you're left-handed, this is going to be a good position for you. So for me, I think the 90 degrees is fine. Some other ones have like a 45 here. I think it's overkill. I've never actually needed that. Maybe if you're doing like sometimes you see like in Edward Scissorhands, they do the hedge animals. That's where that might be useful, but in real life, not really practical from my experience. So overall, very simple tool to use, very good, especially if you're part of the Greenworks family already. Makes a lot of sense. It's very lightweight, so you can easily carry this with one hand with no issues, and you can maneuver it easy. It's 24 inches on the blade, so 2 feet, which is pretty good. You're not going to do any commercial trimming with this, most likely, especially if you have like 8 or 10 feet hedges that you need to trim. You probably need something longer, but for most household things like tree branches and stuff like that, this is perfect. So it has served me really well over the years. My last pro tip, I would say, is, if you're new to tree trimming or hedge trimming, when you are trimming, it's best to start at the bottom and work your way up. It makes things a lot easier if you do it that way. So if you haven't done it before, that's my advice to you, to start off your first job on a high note. Make sure that you clean the blades after each use. Make sure that's not like any debris or leaves or sticks in there. Make sure you take the battery out before you do that, obviously. So anyways, I hope this was useful, and thank you for watching.